So accepting differences and being non-judgmental skills. This is hard because as humans we judge. That's what we do. It's what keeps us protected. We protect ourselves by putting people in boxes. We say, oh, you're this person and I don't want to deal with this type of people. Or you're this person, I'm not attracted to this type of people. When you're dating, try being non-judgmental, unless it's something deep, like it's a requirement. You still have to respect the other person and their views while making sure that it's not so out of the box that it's contradictory to your requirements and your values. And it might just be complimentary, like that was saying. It might be complimentary to yours. So bottom line, oh yes ma'am.
So we can be judgmental on things about our requirements.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I'll speak to that, the differences. So bottom line, men are everywhere. There is no magic bullet, there is no pill, there is no supplement, there's no shot that I could give you that will suddenly have men appearing from the woodworks. The men are everywhere. It's just we have to open our minds. We have to open ourselves up to the possibility that the person that we think that we're ready for may not be here, but right here. They may not be in this position, but in that position. They may not be in, corporate America. They may be, an entrepreneur, struggling entrepreneur, or an artist. So we have to start opening our minds to the possibility that it can happen at any time or anywhere, and that person can be anyone. But as long as that person fits our requirements, fits our values, and they are complementary to our personality, you have the makings of a great partner. All right? Question and answer time. So who has a question?
My difficulty is that, like you said, the communities, I go to church a good portion of the week. And then on weekends we have events, and then I have children, so we're doing different things that are surrounded with the church. So I tend to meet people at church. But, it's still difficult with the dating thing because there's always a program. We always got to practice for something. So to find time to actually go on a date is difficult in that particular community setting. And then it's difficult for me to go outside of that because I'm afraid of the unknown. Like, you are crazy. I don't know you. So most of the people that I do date are, because I got a reference from somebody, or I already knew that, they're in my same social setting, or someone introduced me to them, but not just like to walk up to someone and just meet them.
So you just not gonna do it?
I mean, I have the, so I'm gonna say,
Oh no.
I'll have issue with, just sparking up a conversation with a person, but to go out on a risk and just say, okay, I'm just gonna go out with you, and I don't know you, I don't know anything about you, I don't know anyone that knows you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So right there, I don't know you, but I'm gonna go on a date with you. That's not gonna happen. You're not gonna just randomly accept a date. Hi, my name is.
Well, no.
And now be on a date. You have to. There has to be some type of connection that you guys made in order to say, I'm willing to know you more, to get to know you more, to have a date. And a date can be anything. You can just say, let's walk to the park or something like that. Let's go get coffee. Like, coffee is a date. It can be anything. You don't have to, a date doesn't have to qualify as, oh, you're picking me up and we're going to dinner, and then afterwards we don't know what we gonna do. Am I gonna kiss them? That's the old school definition of a date. Anything can be a date now. You can just say, you know what, I'm gonna meet you at Meetup. You guys are both a part of a Meetup group. Let's meet and we'll talk. That's a date. So whatever you are comfortable with, do that. Now, in terms of, I got this going on, I got that going on, we in this thing 24/7, I'm always in something, you're not. That's what you tell yourself. But as long as you can go from home to someplace, if you're stopping off to get coffee, if you're stopping somewhere to go to the post office, if you're stopping somewhere, if you're just interacting with people, again, there's every opportunity in a public place to engage in 2 or 3 minute conversation. You say, you know what, he was kind of cool. Maybe. Or you say, you know what, let's go grab it. It can happen at any time. So don't, if you think that way, that's what's going to happen. Like I said earlier, your beliefs and your thoughts impact your actions. So if you think you don't have time, you won't. Yes, ma'am.
When you meet a guy in a special needs groups, and you're talking, how do you kind of let them know you're interested?
Okay. Okay.
The weirdness.
The weirdness.
They might not feel the same.
Okay. First of all, you have to be confident in yourself. Okay? You're a beautiful woman. They obviously are interested because they're talking to you on some level, you know, on some level. Giving them your undivided attention, little touches. It's like, oh my God, what was your, first of all, get his name and use his name.
Okay.
Use his name. Saying a man's name is sexy. Using a man's name when you're talking to them is sexy. So first get their name, remember it. Remember the name. And especially, I mean, just for anybody, okay? I do this all the time, even with waiters, anybody. I say, oh, what's your name? And then I try to remember it, and so I use their name at least 2 or 3 times. Doesn't have to be like, Joel, oh my gosh, Joel. Like, it doesn't have to be forced, but using it every once in a while builds connection and builds engagement. So you say, what's your name? April. Do you remember when did we just little touches here and there? Or just to say, oh my God, that's great. Now I know April, and April knows me. And that person will remember you. All you're doing is giving men the green light to step through the door. If you are not giving him any indication that you want to continue the conversation, they will not take it unless, again, they have the cojones of life. And not every man has that, okay? That doesn't mean they're not worth the effort, but you have to give them some indication, okay? Yes, you first.
I was curious about attracting certain types of people. I'm the youngest person out of my friends, and so when people, they're like, hey, Simone, this person might be good for you. That person turns out to be like 34, and my cutoff is like 30.
Why?
Because I'm like 26.
Okay.
Yes, and sometimes
Wait, let me stop you.
What? Right. I don't have like I have a very mature life. Like, I own my own business. I did corporate world. I was in the service, so I have the ability to communicate with others. But as far as life experiences or interacting with different types of men, my experiences are very immature and they're limited. So when I hang out with people, and I'm like, oh, where were you when such and such happened, or this Biggie song came on the radio?
Okay, so there's like this generation gap that you know.
And it's hard.
I would say this. We live in a society where we have criteria that are not serving us. Just because you're 20, you said 26, you said that you kind of have like this maturity about you.
Yes, these are the people that I hang out with and the things that I do.
Right. So if a man says, you know, I don't want to date a 26-year-old because she's not going to be mature.
Most of the time I don't even tell them what my age is.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that you're literally crossing yourself out of the list because of some arbitrary number. Just because you're 26 doesn't mean that you can't handle conversation of a 32-year-old.
Okay.
So what I'm saying to you is maybe 30 shouldn't be a cutoff. But to answer your question, going to those special interest groups will help you. Because you may be young, but you're in a group of like-minded people.
Okay.
So it's about being like-minded, not necessarily like these, oh, this is for 20-year-olds and this is for 30-year-olds and this is for 50, because people have different interests and people have different experiences that make them either less or more mature than their age kind of dictate.